If you continue to avoid things that scare you, you're never going to change. If you continue to avoid things that make you feel uncomfortable, you're never going to evolve. One of the biggest hinderers of growth, in my opinion, is staying in your comfort zone. And if you're someone who has dreams of success, you see yourself going to incredibly big places, you have big dreams for yourself, you have to understand that in order to grow, you're going to have to feel discomfort. You're going to have to feel anxiousness. You're going to have to feel nervousness because it's part of the process. Growth is not possible without stepping outside of your comfort zone. And stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to be uncomfortable. And once you understand that, I think you've found the recipe for life. Welcome back, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me again. I feel like what I have been learning a lot about myself lately is that stepping out of my comfort zone is a crucial factor in my growth journey, in my evolvement journey, in trying to become the best version of myself and the most confident version of myself. I'm at a point where I'm so tired of like not wanting to do things because I'm scared of being perceived, or I think I might look dumb or like look stupid, or people might comment on what I'm doing because I'm really getting to the point where, like, how long am I going to continue to not do things that could really benefit me just because I'm scared? Like, how am I going to hope that magically one day my circumstances change without doing any action, without changing any of my behaviors, right? If I want my life to look exactly how it is now, then fine, continue doing the same things. But if I want to change, I'm going to have to change my own behaviors too. I think it's a little bit silly of me to think, of any of us to think, that in order to get to the next level, in order to attract opportunities that are new, that would really make a big difference for us, I I'm not going to be able to grow, or I'm going to have to avoid that feeling of discomfort or newness or anxiety or of nervousness, right? The long lasting reward of doing something that's scary or new or scares you is greater than the temporary discomfort you might feel of being perceived, right? Especially when it comes to your growth as a person. For some time, I feel like I would actively avoid doing things that made me uncomfortable because of the feelings it would ignite in my body. I would physically feel uncomfortable. I would feel disconnected from myself, just foreign feelings. And of course, I felt like my body was just trying to tell me, you're uncomfortable, shut it down right now. But as time went on, I try to acquaint myself more with the feelings of discomfort. It's something that I'm trying to do today, understanding that regardless, when I do something new, it's gonna feel a little uneasy in my body because it's foreign, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. And once I think I acknowledge that, no, like going into these new situations, it's gonna feel a little off at first, I think I welcomed it a little bit more. For example, when I started this YouTube channel, I feel like for so long, for months, people have been telling me, like, girl, start a YouTube channel or just like a podcast or whatever it is, because I do be yapping. But I just feel like for a long time I was telling myself I wasn't really into YouTube and I didn't want to be an influencer, which is still, partly true. Like, my dream job is not to be an influencer, but I think I was just telling myself that because I was scared of actually showing up online in a way that was foreign to me. And I'm somebody who is used to speaking in front of crowds. I'm used to, like, being on stage or whatever it might be. But the idea of creating content, creating videos where I would A, be vulnerable, B, be solely responsible for all of the content. Like, there was no, like, okay, me and my team, like, made a really bad video and people didn't receive it well. Like, no, this is literally all on me, right? And also the fact that it would just be living online. And sometimes online can be a very scary place and people can be a little mean and disrespectful. And I think just all of those three things together made me, I think, shy away from the idea of even putting myself out there. But I told myself that this year I was going to step out of my comfort zone. When I, in January or like late December, when I was thinking about, okay, what do I want to do that's new for 2025? What do I want to do that will allow me to step out of my comfort zone and just grow as a person? I told myself I would try new things, and this is one of the new things that I said I would try. And honestly, sometimes I do still get nervous. I don't know if the nervous feeling is ever going to go away. I feel it whenever I'm about to go on stage or like do a presentation or whatever it might be as well. But I feel so much more content with myself and happy with myself because I told myself I was going to show up and I did. And I continue to do that ever since January, whenever I started this channel. Weekly, I have been showing up consistently, making a video. And especially as someone who is such a perfectionist and I'm working on it, I am getting used to the idea of just being consistent, even if I have to post something that I'm not 100% satisfied with. If I don't love how, the video turned out 100%, it's okay, like, still post and get myself used to the idea of showing up consistently and not relying on something to be perfect to put it out there. Not feeling like I have to be presented in this very perfect, very clean cut way to show up. Sometimes I feel like, we're looking a little rough. Sometimes my room's a little rough. Sometimes I'm mumbling or my voice is raspy or, I'm just like rambling or I'm saying a lot of ums, which I'm trying to get rid of, right? But it has taught me so much discipline. And as a lot of people say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I feel like showing up for myself in this way consistently every week has allowed me to understand the importance of discipline and what it really means. It's not okay, I'm going to try this one thing and then if it feels weird or if it doesn't work out in my desired time frame, then I'm going to give up. No, it's showing up consistently no matter what and understanding that if you have to do it tired, if you have to do it angry or annoyed or when you're not feeling good, right? Still show up as best as you can, right? Full transparency. Today I woke up and I was like, what, I'm not feeling it and I don't know if I want to record my YouTube video, but I said no, 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 no. We are showing up as best as we can this year. And I'm really trying to instill this idea of discipline in myself and just showing up for myself, even when I might not feel like it. I also feel like it's allowed me to participate in something that I love. I love so much just when yapping. I talk so much. And I love connecting with people, but also the idea of self growth and being able to share just lessons I have learned in life and, what I'm going through in the hopes of helping other people, I think is also so rewarding. It also just like there's so many other things you can pull from these things, right? Like me creating these YouTube videos allows me to, I think, show up better in my career, right? Because now I'm able to see how I show up online, see my mannerisms, see my speech habits, and like I said, the ums that I'm trying to get rid of, just noticing those little things and being able to watch myself back really is helpful. And it just allows me to see what I can improve on. See, we're getting to those ums. I promise you, give me a few more months, there will be less ums. If you want the ultimate confidence, you have to step out of your comfort zone. There's just no doubt about it. Obviously, I would say, I've been a pretty confident person for the past few years, but lately, because I have been showing up to things by myself and stepping out of my comfort zone and doing things that have scared me, oh my gosh, I have a little more pep in my step. Abso-freaking-lutely. And it has made a world of a difference. I feel like my confidence has skyrocketed because I'm so secure in who I am now. We're working on it. We're never fully there, but I would say definitely I am much better now than I was a year ago, even a few months ago. Like, for example, I went to a concert last week by myself, solely by myself. And that is not even something that would have been in the realm of possibility for me last year, I think. The idea of it, sounded too daunting to me, but I just really in life got to a point where I enjoyed my own company so much that I was like, you know what? Show up. It started off with me attending movies by myself, or just like going on really long nature walks or going to the mall by myself or going shopping or whatever it might be. And now, or like, going to events, like networking events by myself, and, sitting with that discomfort at first and realizing that, there really is no imminent threat. There is no actual danger. And once you just continue to do something that does scare you, eventually the feelings of nervousness and anxiousness are going to go away. So because I felt so comfortable and secure with being by myself, I ended up going to the concert by myself and had a great time. I feel like also I am learning that one, people really are not, they don't care about you as much as you think you do. Like when you're showing up to these places, people are not there to watch you and to decipher your life and figure out why you are by yourself. They're not. And if someone is deciding to do that, like, so what? How does it does not impact your life, right? So I don't know. I really did realize that, especially being in an environment where I was surrounded by so many people. Nobody was staring at me. Not that I know of, at least. And what? I went to the concert by myself and I had a great time. It nothing really impacted me that much. On top of that, I felt just so much more, I think, secure in my body. I didn't feel like I was trying to hide myself or shrink myself for anybody around me. I just showed up as myself and was ready to be present. Being alone, I think I almost felt more free because I didn't have to consider anybody else. And as somebody who is a recovering people pleaser, this was so important for me. If I was with someone at this concert and let's say I wanted to move areas and stand in a different place, I would have had to have consulted them or just asked them their opinion about it or just consider their feelings in general about it. But because I was alone, if I didn't like my spot, I could have moved. I simply could have moved. If I wanted to go talk to somebody, I could have done that. If I wanted to go to the washroom randomly when a really good song was on, I could have done that. If I wasn't feeling good for any reason and I wanted to leave early and go home, I could have done that without having to consult anybody else, which I think is so important for me because it really did allow me to just show up and do what I wanted without having to think of external factors or consider anybody else. And I'm not saying you to be an inconsiderate person, but as somebody who really was a people pleaser and would ignore my own thoughts and feelings and what I wanted to make sure other people were comfortable, this really was a good practice, I think, for me in just doing what I felt like I wanted to do in that moment. I also didn't feel embarrassed about singing songs or vibing out because I really was so present. And one thing that I try to make sure that I do when I am out by myself is limit my screen time and just like how much I am on my phone. I want to make sure I'm not like cheating my way out of being like in public by myself by just like gluing myself to my phone and being connected with it there. I wanted to make sure that, you know what, I was looking around, I was seeing the atmosphere. Maybe you make eye contact with somebody and what? It's not the end of the world. I really did want to make sure that I felt present because I feel like after that now, like I will show up to anywhere feeling fine because I got to that concert by myself. I also find that now the little things really don't faze me as much. If someone does look at me or is staring or might not smile back, to me it's just like, okay, you just move on, right? And the more you do something, the less scary it will feel. You have to understand that in the beginning, no matter what you do, if you're doing something new, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And you might sense that in your body, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, especially if it's something that will actually help you grow as a person and would benefit your future self. I have another concert coming up, and I'm actually excited to be going by myself. Before this past concert that I went to, I was open to going by myself and experiencing it. But now I've gotten to the point where I am excited. I felt so good about myself. I don't know what it was. I really did feel good. And it just goes to show like, do things that scare you. You never know how it might impact you after, how you might feel, how you might start to show up in the world, right? Do not be scared to take up space. I'm begging you. Do not shrink yourself when you're in public. Do not feel like you have to dim yourself or dim your light or dim your energy. Feel comfortable showing up as yourself, as your best self, regardless of how other people might feel. And I think going out alone or just stepping out of your comfort zone, whether that be starting a new venture that you've always thought about doing, or joining a club or a program where you might not know anybody, traveling by yourself, anything like that, really stepping out of your comfort zone, whatever it might be, even just going to the movies by yourself or going to dinner by yourself, just try it and see what it does for you. Because once you get through the end of the night and you're like, oh, I survived, you're gonna think like, okay, wait, if that's possible, what else is possible, right? Because I would say that's the mindset I'm in at this point. Like, if I can show up to a concert by myself in a big city. Oh my gosh, who am I, right? So I don't want any of us to ever be in a position where we feel like we can't do anything alone. We can't show up like our full, true, authentic selves. Because I honestly, once you do, I would say you almost feel like a new person. You've shifted a little bit. At least I do. And I want to encourage us all to try things that make us uncomfortable. It's 2025. Just see what it can do for you. See where it can put you. Um, yeah, we have one life. Do you really want to spend it scared to do anything, right? Do you want to get to 65, 85, maybe 100 and say, you know what? my life was okay, but I didn't really live because I was scared. Uh-uh. Absolutely not. So as a reminder, show up as your best self. Do something that scares you. If there's one thing you can do this week, this month, this quarter, or this year that scares you or makes you just a little bit nervous or a little bit uncomfortable, do it and see how you feel after. Journal, talk, like just see how it might feel in your body after, and see if there are positive things that come out of it. Anyway, babes, thank you so bad for watching. I decided to stand today in my room and see just how it felt. We'll see. The format keeps changing, but I appreciate you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.